Welcome to Talks with Dr. Gupta and friends. I'd like to begin by wishing all of you a Merry Christmas. But this year, it's hard to ignore the deep unease surrounding Christmas in India. A troubling duality that forces us to ask some uncomfortable questions. Because Christmas is supposed to be a time of peace, of goodwill, of peace and harmony, of quiet celebration. Yet for many Indians this year, it became a season of fear. Across multiple states, reports emerged of intimidation, vandalism, and targeted disruption aimed at the country's Christian minority. What should have been a festive moment instead turned into a flashpoint for conflict. So today, let's unpack what happened, and more importantly, why. What actually happened? These were not just a few isolated incidents. Multiple civil society groups and media reports documented a pattern of disruption across the country. In some places, it was public and symbolic. Christmas decorations torn down in shopping areas. People wearing Santa hats harassed in markets. In other cases, it was far more targeted. School Christmas programs were stormed. Decorations were burned. Even a charity lunch organized for visually impaired students was attacked. Let that sink in for a moment. These were not political rallies. They were not protests outside government buildings. They were community events. Who was involved? And what was the justification? Groups linked to right-wing Hindu nationalist organizations, including the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and Bajrang Dal, claimed responsibility for many of these disruptions. Their justification was consistent and blunt. They argued that Christmas celebrations are being used as a cover for forcible religious conversions by Christian missionaries. In one televised debate, a spokesperson went even further, stating that if protecting their religion made them terrorists, it was a label they were willing to accept. That is a striking statement, and one that demands scrutiny. Do the facts support the mass conversion claim? This is where data matters. India's official census shows that for over 70 years, the Christian population has remained remarkably stable, hovering around 2.3% of the total population. If mass conversions were truly occurring at scale, those numbers would reflect it. They do not. Legal experts also point out another key fact. Despite thousands of allegations over decades, there has not been a single conviction in an Indian court for forcible conversion to Christianity. India's constitution, under Article 25, guarantees freedom of religion. The Supreme Court has been clear. Forced or fraudulent conversions are illegal. But proving that is the job of courts, not mobs. The state response: symbolism versus silence. This brings us to the most uncomfortable contradiction. On the very same day these incidents were unfolding, the Prime Minister was seen attending a Christmas celebration at a church, a powerful symbol of inclusivity. Yet on the ground, there was near silence as intimidation continued. Critics describe this as a two-track reality: public symbolism of harmony at the top, street-level vigilantism below. A former Director General of Police explained why this matters. When situations become politically sensitive, police officers look upward for signals. Without clear political backing, enforcement often hesitates. That perceived silence can create something dangerous: a culture of impunity. Why this doesn't stay a domestic issue? In today's hyper-connected world, these images don't remain local. Videos of burning decorations or harassed worshippers circulate globally within minutes, and that has consequences. India's international reputation, as a pluralistic democracy and a moral leader, is one of its greatest strategic assets. Damage to that image can strain diplomatic relationships, deter foreign investment, undermine India's soft power. Some analysts even warn of spillover effects, including backlash faced by Indian communities abroad. The deeper question: at its core, this isn't just about Christmas. It's about the gap between constitutional ideals and lived reality, between rule of law and street justice, between symbolic inclusion and real protection. So this Christmas in India revealed two realities playing out at the same time, one of official goodwill and harmony, the other of fear and intimidation. And that leaves us with a final difficult question. When history looks back at this moment, what will it remember as the true reflection of the nation? The speeches delivered from podiums, or the scenes that unfolded in its streets? Stay safe. Merry Christmas. and happy new thinking.